As the year of 2021 comes to a close, many of us are looking back on everything that happened this year, be it politically or, due to the virus or whatever else. But you've also got people like me who look at the funny video game side. So today we're going to be looking at said funny video game side, but not just any of the funny video game side, no, just the Nintendo part. Why just the Nintendo part? Because I don't feel nearly qualified enough to look at Halo Infinite and the GTA collection. So with that, let's get into the most exciting month of the year, January 2020. So, as is tradition with January of any year, literally nothing happened. There was no news, there was no games, there was nothing. There wasn't even that much to do, because when it comes to YouTubers, they don't upload at all in January for some reason. It's overall quite the depressing month of, as I said, literally nothing. So, let's move on to a much better month. And this time I swear I'm not doing a Duke. Oh, hey, look, I'm gonna say it's better, then it actually sucks. No, this one actually is a better month.
Oh, wow, Zowie.
So, February started off really nice with a brand new 3D Mario, kind of. See, Bowser's Fury, ooh, name drop, was a really weird thing. It was just a small little attachment onto the side of a, let's be honest, port of Mario 3D World, but I don't know, it was just so unique. It had a truly open sandbox type world where each location just flew or flowed into each other, instead of the system that we saw in Mario Odyssey where it's all different disconnected worlds that you couldn't really get to without using your ship. Except for those paintings, I guess, but they don't really count. Many people, including myself, really liked this new take on the 3D Mario formula. It was this perfect horrifying blend between the sandboxes we see in 64 and Sunshine and what we saw in 3D World. Though the frequentness of Bowser could be quite annoying, that's really the only flaw I can think of it. It's very enjoyable. But that wasn't all that happened, no. For only 5 days later, we would see the return of the Nintendo Direct in its natural form. People were excited as to what this would mean, and to be honest, I'm quite happy with what was announced during it. In this Direct, we saw Skyward Sword HD. I don't care whatsoever. While I do understand that it fixes many of the issues that the original game had, I don't want to be spending $60 on this, man. Like, it was a stretch to make us pay that much for 3 games in one, with your Mario 64, but the graphics are AI upscaled, and Sunshine with like 2 or 3 fixes, and Mario Galaxy, but this is just a whole nother level. The bare minimum people were expecting was this alongside Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. That was the minimum, that was the lazy man's route. And yet Nintendo did less than that. And yet they didn't get that much crap for it. I don't believe it myself either. We also got Splatoon 3 announced. This is very weird to me. Like, sure, Splatoon 2 already had its big final Splatfest and all that, but it would just make more sense to me if you kept putting stuff into that game instead of working on a new one, but I don't know. Looks very nice, looks like the campaign's gonna be a lot better, so yeah, very good. Next, we saw that Animal Crossing New Horizons would be getting an update to include Mario items. One of the biggest issues for me with Animal Crossing New Horizons is just the lack of content. I'm not going to continue, I just mean the lack of content in general, but one of the things that stung the most was the lack of video game content. See, one of the things I loved about New Leaf was, going down, using my play coins to buy some fortune cookies and going, oh look, it's a little Mario hat with his funny nose, and look, there's a Wario hat with his funny nose, and there's Pikmin. I guess, I don't know. So it kind of sucked not seeing any of that in the game, but hey, now we have the Mario stuff. Will we be getting Zelda stuff? Spoiler alert, no, we're not getting any more stuff. They've finished their last major update. Or at least the last free update. And unless they're planning to, stick some of that video game stuff alongside another paid DLC, I don't think people would be wanting to spend like $20 on, oh look, here's the funny sword from Zelda, da-da-da-da, you gonna do that? Continuing on this route of negativity, Plants vs. Zombies Neighborville on Switch. I hate this game, okay? I loved the original Plants vs. Zombies. My biggest wish for it was, I wish you could, like, do the Garden Ops mode, which was a tower defense type thing. Zombies would be coming for your garden, I need to defend it by killing them again. And they answered this in the sequel with, oh look, here's your zombie version of that, and I was really, really happy. And it had a bigger single player, refined multiplayer, and even included even more single player content afterward, with 2 brand new characters you could unlock, or pay for if you suck, but still, really enjoyed it. Then, when there's rumors of a 3rd one, I was really excited, you know, they could bring in more characters, maybe make an even bigger, even better single player, and, well, they certainly made a bigger single player campaign, but the cost of it sucking horribly. This video I get isn't exactly a review on Plants vs. Zombies Neighborville or any form of Plants vs. Zombies, but I just feel it necessary to state how this game sucks. Its online community was dying at this point. The game barely ran on the bloody Xbox One, so I don't get how you'd think it'd run well on the Switch. Why didn't you just give us, like, the original game? You know, maybe Plants vs. Zombies 2? Or even better, what if you give us Garden Warfare 2? Because I promise you, or I bet you, right, that there are more people playing that games online than there are the people playing Neighborville's one. Anyway, one final announcement from this direct was Miitopia. Now, Miitopia came out, I think, like 2017, 2016, I'm not too sure, but it was kind of swept under the rug because of the NX, now known as the Switch, so it never really got a fair chance, despite how much I enjoyed the game. Sure, the combat was quite basic, but I really, really did enjoy the whole idea of it. Being able to have these characters taken from Street Pass filled in was really fun, because you'd walk into a town and, oh look, there's Homer Simpson, that's funny. In this, they showed off a new makeup system, where you could put even more details into your Miis, like a ridiculously amount more. Instead of, oh, that kinda looks like you're talking about, now you can have it be full on, yes, I exactly see who you're going with, you don't need to explain it to me, I know for a fact that that there is Homer Simpson. Like, seriously, go look up some of the designs and stuff people have done. They've made these really, really good, really detailed things. And sure, half the time it doesn't work properly, and sometimes makeup will just disappear on a face, so, you know, there's a good couple issues, but we'll get into that when we're talking about the game itself. So, overall, this February Direct, yeah, pretty good. Good couple people were disappointed by this giant return. You know, if you weren't into Splatoon or Miitopia, then you didn't exactly get much announced, but even still, I'd say this was a pretty decent welcome back, you know? Bravely Default 2 also released this month. I don't know, as I said that I'd be mostly focusing on the big Nintendo titles, but to be honest, I just grabbed from a couple lists, and this was included on it, so insert it here. When I saw it announced and talked about, I didn't care. It looked really generic. I made some snarky comment about, oh, Bravely Default, because it looks like a default RPG, ha 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 ha. So, there's my opinion on it. I'm sorry, all 2 of you Bravely Default fans out there. March was a pretty lax month, hence the lack of footage here. It had the anniversary of Animal Crossing though. That was not able to bring me back to the game, sadly, but, you know, it was there. I never actually have went back to Animal Crossing since I originally played it for like 3 months, which is kind of the way the game works, let's be honest. Not even to grab footage for here or next month. Speaking of next month, let's get into that right now. See, instead of separating the recordings, because they're both nothing, I'm just gonna throw them together. April 2021 had a brand new Pokemon Snap. People have been asking for this game for years, people really enjoy this franchise, yada yada yada. I don't care about Pokemon, I don't care about spin-offs, I can't say anything about this whatsoever. Other than, it's good Nintendo's looking at other franchises, or, well, the Pokemon company is looking at older franchises that haven't exactly gotten a new game as of late. It gives me hope for titles that have went quite a while with literally nothing. Your Chibi Robos, F-Zeros, your Mario and Luigi, please. I can't go a single video without not mentioning it, you know, it needs to be brung up. I, couldn't find a funny me noise for this transition. There's a Discord notification if that counts. No, it doesn't. May. This is when Miitopia came out, but I won't be talking about that for just a quick second to mention these two other games. Famicom Detective Club. I've never heard of this. Apparently it was a really, really old game for the Famicom. Shocking. Yeah, once again, kind of what I said for New Pokemon Snap. It's good Nintendo's looking at these much, much older franchises. I mean, sure, you know, there's a bit of a gap between the release of that and Mario and Luigi, but still, gives me hope. Shin Megami Tensei 3, that's probably how you say it. Remaster, I need to specify that. I don't care about that franchise whatsoever, so yeah, can't say anything about it. But let's get into Miitopia. May 21st, Miitopia on Switch. Oh boy, do I have things to say about this game. First of all, I really loved the updated graphics. It looked fine, I guess, on the 3DS, but, you know, this brand new coat of paint given to it by the Switch is just amazing. Love the way it runs, love the smoothness of it. Very, very good. Very. They added a horse. I don't feel like this was necessary, but it's another, you know, fun part of the game, especially with the big attacks. Once you become close enough friends with your horse, you have the power to charge up a beam and, like, pew! Well, if you pick Scientist. Essentially, you just use all your MP and then do one giant attack on whatever you're fighting. The addition of the horse is kind of smart, because that way you can try and level everyone. See, in the game, when you have two people in a room, then their relationship levels up. Speaking of which, that's why this game is rated like 18 in some places. Yeah, because friendships doesn't make sense. But yes, what you want to do in the game is you want everyone to kind of be roughly at the same level of friendship, so everyone's, you know, like say level 18 by the time they get kidnapped. Oopsie, spoiler. So, it's a good thing that the horse is here, because it means that if a character is sick, or if one, you know, if two people have a higher relationship than the rest, then you can just separate them, put one with the horse, and it's good. Also, when your friends get kidnapped and you have literally no one, then, you know, it gives you some quality time with the horse. I don't want to know what you're doing with that quality time with them, but still. They also added these date type things where you're given tickets, activity ones. They're like, oh, look, let's go to the beach, let's go to the cinema, stuff like that. This can lead to funny scenarios where you see, like, duplicates of the Miis that you're currently using. I have just, like, 50 ones where you can see Waluigi's stupid face just in the background, or Wario. It's only those two, strangely. There's also special ones for the horse, which are special and funny. The UI is a bit annoying. See, before you could quickly go into your sprinkles, which is the main healing method of the game, and quickly heal everybody up, give them some MP, whatever else, but now, because you don't have that second screen, it's a little bit harder to actually get to that, so I find myself half the time playing the game with the little thing at the side, so I can quickly get sprinkles if needed. Because the way I like to play the game is that instead of quickly healing somebody, is that I like to wait a little, because if I don't need to heal them, then I won't, because at the end of every battle, your health goes back up naturally anyway. Your sprinkles don't, you know, if you're just on a normal path and you go into another battle. Actually, wait, that's a lie, your health does remain. Still. So what issues do I have with the game? Well, first of all, see, the thing that I loved about the original game is that it would filter in Miis automatically if you selected it, so instead of getting just a bunch of random stock ones, you could get, oh look, Homer Simpson, Pringles guy, Mona Lisa, that kind of stuff, and it was fun. But the issue with this game is that you have three options. Randomly generated ones, which are your generic bog standard faces, like, oh look, there's Gerald. I don't care. Second option is to have those Miis from the 3DS edition put on there. Now, while this is still good, I want a way to get the new Miis inputted automatically. You know, the ones with the makeup, the ones where instead of going, oh, I guess I can see that, I can go, yes, that is definitely this character. And that's sadly not the third option. The third option is you can grab ones from somebody else's town and put them in. So if somebody else designed their place to have, let's say, I don't know, Luigi as the mayor, then you're stuck with that when you automatically fill it in from that person. And half the time, the people who make those really, really good ones with this Mii Maker thing, they have privated ones. So you go, oh, let me automatically fill it in with whatever this guy picked. You know, they made some really good things. Oh, half of them are private. I do not understand why Nintendo did not allow us to just have an automatic system of filtering in those ones with makeup. It does not make any sense to me. People are constantly uploading their new ones, sharing their code, so I just hate it. If I want to get good, cool-looking Miis with makeup, I need to distinctly look up the code, put it in, select the guy, and then there's no surprise, which is what half the fun of Miitopia was. That surprise, that showing up and going, oh look, Paper Mario's here. Shocker. But ending this part off with a more positive way to look at it, they brung back Miitopia. There is still hope for a brand new Tomodachi Life. Now, my theory for why it's taking so long is just, the original game was very, binary. You're male, you're female, you can only go out with those of the opposite genders, and with the way that the times are nowadays, you can't really be having that. Heck, even back then, the game got a lot of flack for that. So I'm thinking that the reason why this new one is taking so long is because they're working on a new system to be a lot more inclusive and not so woman. I mean, we've kind of seen this in Animal Crossing where instead of gender it's just style, so I don't see it too weird to find it here. Or maybe they're just never gonna make a new one due to how icky that whole situation would be if you make a mistake. I desperately hope it's not that, but who knows.
Oh. Wow.
Oh boy, here comes another fun month, June of 2021. Other than the fact that it was my birthday every year. We also got quite a few things this month, so we'll start off by talking about the lame ones. That being Mario Golf Super Rush. See, it's funny because I actually meant to say rushed as a joke because the game is very basic. Okay, so the thing about, I've already forgotten the name, Super Rush, is that just like Mario Tennis Aces before it, it is so painfully generic. Everything just looks like, a stock Mario game. The type of thing Nintendo would develop in-house, then build onto wackier stuff onto that. But no, I've never liked Mario Golf, but even I can say that the older titles were quite a bit better, quite a bit more unique. This is just bland. It's got a quote-unquote campaign where you just go through all the maps you'd see playing multiplayer and online and whatever else anyway. Kinda like Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, but let's not talk about that. And it's just really, as I said, generic. Character choices, also not anything to write home about. Heck, locations for these golf places, why not have something fun? Why not put just a little bit of creativity into it instead of just, it's golf. It's just golf. The Super Rush in the name is this new system where you hit the golf ball, then you run after it, and you hit it again. I think it's called like speed golf or something. You can also get like power-ups, which that's a little bit of creativity, but that isn't nearly enough. That's like bloody Mario Tennis Ultra Smash levels of, we have this one kind of cool, I guess, idea, that's your lot. It just doesn't make any sense. This month also had Game Builder Garage. Inside of the Nintendo Labo, there was this game maker. Kinda interesting. I own Nintendo Labo myself. It was fine, I guess. I don't know. Some people got really into it, and then they decided, hey, let's make a full-on game using that engine. And now they have. I saw a good couple amount of things built within like the first month, and then the game kind of fell off plus ratio, so yeah. But now let's get into the big one. E3 2021. For the month leading up to this, I made a bunch of videos just theorizing and putting a bunch of effort into it, I guess. Well, some effort into it. To be honest, I can't even remember what I said half the time. I definitely got the Smash stuff wrong, but we'll be talking about that later. So, let's talk about what was there. Warioware, get it together. Now, Warioware is a very interesting franchise, because I didn't care about it previous, bought this, loved it, went back to some of the older titles, and really enjoyed those too, so, I think it's a good game to bring interest to that franchise, and, once again, it's a Game Boy Advance franchise. See, I love Game Boy Advance franchises, because that's where Mario and Luigi came from. Oh boy. Speaking of Game Boy Advance franchises, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Remake. I've talked about this before, and by before I mean like in the last video. Yeah, I've never played it. I might pick these up, I don't know. I haven't really seen too much gameplay, so I don't know if I'd be interested or not, but yeah, cool, it exists. Shin Megami Tensei 5, we mentioned its remake of the third title earlier, so I feel it's necessary to state it here. It got a new trailer. I remember seeing a trailer for it like a year ago or something, I don't know. It was like 2019, 2018, something like that, and I didn't care about it then, and I still don't. Next, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, we learned about this game like the day before Ubisoft's presentation, and some people like me learned about it like 2 days before because it got leaked. It was kind of disappointing that it did get leaked, but it would have been ruined by Ubisoft having it in there anyway, so yeah. I hope that it's not a secret at this point that I really do love Mario and Rabbids. I just love it, you know. Up until December 10th, it was the only Mario RPG style thing on the Switch. And by that I mean it was a Mario RPG, not Super Mario RPG Legend of 7 Stars, released for the Super Nintendo by Square. I love the Mario RPG series, you know, both your Paper Marios, until the latest one. I don't like that one so much. The Mario and Luigi's, until the latest one. I don't like that one so much. Or Dream Team. And the very original. So, it was nice seeing this. It's like your fourth one. So, seeing it get a sequel, great. Seeing it be more unique. The first game was already quite unique, you know. It had a desert level and an ice level combined. Wow, nobody's seen that before. And, spoiler, Bowser's the final boss. Ooh, shocker. But this one actually does look unique. They're in space. Space is where good things happen. You know what happened in space? Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Those are great games. That happened in space. This game is Rabbid Rosalina. Space. Seems good. It looked like to have a graphical overhaul. The original game, it didn't look cheap. It didn't look simplistic, but like, they definitely could have done more. And this game looks like, well, more. The battle system seems to have been changed. Instead of it being very grid-based, now it's a lot more open while still being the same battle system, if that makes sense. Still having your chest-high walls, still having all that goodness. My only hope is that this doesn't overcomplicate the battle system, since what I liked about the first game is that even though it was quite simple, they were able to build quite a lot on it. So I hope that, once again, this new one isn't too complex. Next, Monkey Ball. They did a remake of the bad ones, now they're doing a remake of the good ones. I don't care about Monkey Ball whatsoever. People got really excited when they saw it because, Donkey Kong? No. I'm pretty sure this game also got leaked beforehand as well, so, yeah. Metroid Dread. Okay, people have known about Metroid Dread's existence for 16 years. Like, that's how long it's been worked on, at least. I know in one of the Metroid Prime games, is like Project Dread is nearing completion. Yeah, the last Metroid Prime game came out for the Wii, so, they're a bit wrong about that. See, the issue with this game is that they didn't have the technology to develop it. They had all these ideas, but no system was powerful enough to have those ideas. You know, not the GameCube, not whatever else. Wii, Wii U, 3DS. So, when on the 3DS there's a remake of Samus Returns that kind of gauged a little bit of interest in the series, the creator of Metroid is able to look at Mercury's Steam and go, yes, okay, I think with this new Switch console, we have the power to make this game now. And then they did, and it was great. We'll be talking about that later, though. Just, this announcement was amazing for a lot of people. I was quite a new Metroid fan. You know, I tried Super back in 2018, 2019. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. Early 2021, ended up playing Metroid Fusion and loved it. And then from there, I started playing all the Metroids. So, it's kind of perfect timing that this has shown up. So perfect, in fact, that I now believe it was my fault we had to wait so long. I'm sorry, guys. If my parents gave me Metroid Prime when I was 2, then this would have came out faster. And finally, in this, we saw a brand new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. Now, we got this Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, teaser, really, let's be honest, back like E3 2019. People were excited. Oh, a Breath of the Wild 2, or Breath of the Wild 2, a sequel to it. I am so excited. People expected it to be like Majora's Mask, a darker game that reused a good couple assets but still managed to make something special out of it, so the development time would not be too long. Now, here we are, with the game coming out, quote-unquote, next year. I say that because a lot of leakers are saying that's going to be pushed to 2023. So, I guess it wasn't a quick turnaround. Now, I don't know if it's due to trouble developing the game, or if there was, like, parts of it that they just ended up redoing because they didn't like it, like Metroid Prime 4. I don't know why it's taken so long, but all I'm saying is that it better live up to the expectations, and from what we saw in this trailer, it might very well do so. Yeah, the trailer looked very good. What else can I say? Now, July was the month of mediocrity. Why? Well, Skyward Sword HD came out. I already talked about why that game blows. and also Pokemon Unite, which was League of Legends Pokemon. That sentence should not be uttered by any mortal man. It is a horrifying thing to think of, an eldritch abomination. League of Legends itself is already horrendous, so mixing that with Pokemon, with the largest media franchise on Earth, which can't even be bothered to make a halfway decent game, it's just horrifying. This month was also probably a Pokemon Direct. I forgot to write down the date of when this was, so it's either July 21st, beyond that, or before August 27th. So, yeah. I don't own either of those games I just talked about due to they suck. Even though Pokemon Unite's free, I could not be arsed downloading it for like this, 3-minute segment. So, you know what, just to fill up time, just to make July a little bit more special, which is what it needs for being the dirty ripoff of the month I was born, we'll talk about the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs Part 1 that released. So, due to how large overhauling the entire world generation would be, the developers at Mojang decided to split up the Caves and Cliffs update into 2 parts. Now, this made sense. While it was a bit annoying to have to wait longer for the part I actually cared about, the world generation, it was neat that they're at least giving some of this to us now. The issue being, though, I didn't care about any of the new items. I didn't care about goats, I didn't care about the luscious caves. Sure, it's grown on me a bit, get it? Neither do I. But I don't know, man. I didn't care. Once Caves and Cliffs Part 2 came out, that's when the cool part was. With this, I just didn't care. And, worst of all, it didn't even come with all the blocks promised. And with that I mean, Skulk. Now, the Deep Dark and all that was a very interesting part to me, because it looked like something actually difficult in Minecraft. Wow, haven't seen that before, other than in mods, so I was excited, but no, that was delayed. But hey, at least you'd be getting it in December. See, it's funny, because it got delayed to 2022, like everything else has. Anyway, that's enough whining about this month. On to the next one.